Hi, I'm Skippy Blair. I know a lot of you. Some of you have been familiar with what we do here in Southern California, mainly in West Coast Swing. I'm a member of the board of the World Swing Dance Council, and we've been doing West Coast Swing here. I've been instrumental in the community for a little over 55 years, and we have quite a swing dance community. West Coast Swing is getting all over the world, and with it comes controversy, but every good thing runs into controversy at some time. I just gathered a group that's here working on technical things in West Coast Swing. We did that for a couple of weekends, like 4 days, 10 to 5. Busy place. I have a world-known celebrity in our NUNEZ here who has been competing in West Coast Swing for over 25 years.
Sure, since '83.
Yeah, since 1983. Fantastic young lady. She's on the board of Golden State Dance Teachers Association. And I have 3 people with me from Australia. So it looks like that's where the action is happening in West Coast Swing these days. And what fun. I'm going to introduce Erin and Jamie, and you are from?
Brisbane West Coast Swing.
And Brisbane West Coast Swing as well.
Yes, but in Australia and
Yeah.
where?
From Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Yeah,
Okay.
Queensland.
And this is Brady.
From Third Foot Adelaide in Adelaide, South Australia.
And they tell me that I know here in the States we have Dancing with the Stars, and we have some wonderful things that we see, and we have some things that make us go, we don't usually express those. But it seems like we're not alone. It looks like there's been a lot of action going on in Australia.
Some misunderstanding.
And some misunderstanding. So tell me what it's all about.
Well, the show asked for West Coast Swing to be taught to the contestants so that they could perform it on the show.
Okay.
And yeah, it seems as though the judges' interpretation of what West Coast Swing was a little bit different to what the choreographers' interpretation of West Coast Swing was. And one of the judges, some of the judges' comments were there wasn't enough swinging of the hips in the West Coast Swing routines that were danced on the night.
That's enough to scare you to death, isn't it? We tried very hard to get the wigglers off the floor. Okay, and
the other comment was that that to make the routines more exciting, the choreographers should have put some jitterbug or Lindy Hop into the routine, into the West Coast Swing routines.
That should have given Jordan Frisbee a heart attack. Yes. Jordan and Tatiana do earth-shattering routines, and they're the world's champion right now in West Coast Swing. And they would never run out of exciting, wonderful material. I will say I did see the little clip of what was going on the Australia thing, and I think the choreographer, when we watched them dance, did a very nice job of West Coast Swing on a social level. The contestants, this is not a dance that you pick up by showing somebody what to do.
No, and given a week to learn the basics of West Coast Swing.
And I mean, here these people are visiting the United States. Brady won a few things this past.
Here for 5 months.
Yeah, but you just won a few things.
Yes.
Yes. And West Coast Swing it's an industry. It's a life. It's a community. And unfortunately, all the problems that came up on television were just a matter of miscommunication. The people who were judging are used to their version of West Coast Swing. It was either, from the description, it was either Arthur Murray's West Coast Swing, International West Coast Swing, or what we refer to as ballroom West Coast Swing. When one of those forms winds up in what we call a real West Coast swing community, they don't understand why they don't make points. They don't understand why they don't even get into the finals. And it's because it's a different dance. West Coast swing has evolved. Just tremendous. Marianne won the very first U.S. Open.
Yes.
And was it the second one too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
first and second. Nothing
And
like
the style then was
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
towards Lindy than it was West Coast.
Yes.
And it has
but
evolved
that was
with-
showcase.
Right.
Showcase. But through the years, through the U.S. Open, West Coast Swing has developed. We had an original council for 9 years, and this one's been going on for about 8. It's world renowned. And I think two people I'd like to give advice to. The contestant who challenged the judge, you never do that. If the judge tells you you're wearing purple and you are wearing green, you just say thank you. All you're allowed to tell a judge. And to the judge, to say that any reputable teacher doesn't know what they're doing is not nice either. So I think tempers were flaring. So we should say everybody takes a big deep breath, and before they have another West Coast swing, please make it a universal West Coast swing. Don't make it an international West Coast swing, a ballroom West Coast swing. Or what's the third one?
Arthur Murray.
Arthur Murray.
And I think also...
Sorry about that, Arthur. I know you're no longer with us, and you've given us some great dancers. But West Coast Swing has grown. It's a whole community. It's a fantastic community. It's a way of life.
I think the only other thing to be addressed is that perhaps Dancing with the Stars, next time I'd like to explain to the judges that the West Coast Swing that they're judging is West Coast Swing and not ballroom West Coast Swing.
Yeah.
Assuming that they have some fantastic choreographers and teachers in Australia, Charles being one of them, Charles and Bianca, who did the choreography, I understand, for Dancing with the Stars in this round. They do know their stuff.
Good. Good. Thank you, and we'll see you when there's more controversy. One last note. Here in Downey, California, Southern California, we've been in on the development and extension of West Coast Swing since 1950. That's a long time. And if anybody wants to reach us to discuss this, I can be emailed at skippyblair.com. You can go to our website of swingworld.com, or just give us a telephone call, 562-869-8949. We'd love to discuss it with you.